Blue Week continues, and today's video is going to be the Mage version of the deck. Again, just like the previous two videos this week, this is a mono blue list where we're just trading out 4 cards for different class cards. This time it's the yellow ones. We're running 3 Dragon Knights and Iron. And if you want to try this out, deck code will be in the video description. But again, it's just trading out cards from the decks previously in the week, so if you don't want to copy the deck code, I guess what I'm trying to say is if you've already built one of these lists throughout the week, they're all really easy to build. You just copy the deck, trade out the 4 cards, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to jump in, play 2 games, win or lose on the ladder. Hopefully they're wins. And right out of the gate, we are matched up against an assassin opponent. And I'm going to see if we can fend off this aggressive start, because the reality is that's likely what we are going to be facing. Actually tempted to keep the lesser ward. Like, if this is aggro assassin, this is actually a pretty decent starter. But even more so, the lesser ward, if we get something that isn't ward crafter, we can lead off with it and then protect it for value trades. But I think that we still send this back. We're looking for 2 drops. The mage is fine to keep because we have the ring, though. Punished in a way, right? So if we kept lesser ward and this was the card that we get back from the first mulligan, that's a much better opener. But we're just gonna have to settle for this. All right, we found our 2 drop, and it does appear that it's gonna be aggro assassin. This is a deck that could give us some fits, actually, because they got a lot of reach. A lot of great ways to get out there and punish us. We have to play for the board as best we can and then pivot to being aggressive. Just have to hope that we don't lose too much health while we're playing for the board. Like, that's the trick.
I see their strategy.
Out of my
So
careful there, friend.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
we take the trades. Now there's a chance they take this value trade, but if they do that, I think that's a bit of a win, because again, they're an aggressive deck. Yeah, I didn't expect them to do that. They're an aggressive deck. They want to get our health total as low as they can. But in that regard, we also are going to be stuck taking like even more from them.
Your blood will spill.
And we got to make the trade. We're not happy about it, but we got to do it. So this is probably going to be Manic Jack plus a mutation here. I don't think we want to use our last ring charge quite yet. That's likely going to be for a Conjurer this next turn. And the reason that I think it'll be for Conjurer is mostly for the guard, actually. And that one gets guard. Okay, so Conjurer can go here with its guard. We were kind of hoping for Drain, if I'm being completely honest.
I come bearing gifts.
Alright, so they're going to do that, and then what, Dagger as well? Just to trade? Get the 6 health gain. This, again, very reasonable on their part. But we want this guard, so...
I'm ready.
Your blood will spill. My set.
And actually, I think we're going to go ahead and try to protect this. You could argue saving it for Dragon Knight makes more sense, but the reality is Dragon Knight's not likely to be a play anytime soon. We're looking at probably Abner here. And in this regard, we're also making them use this Crushing Blow just to keep their threat alive. Like, there's a lot of resources they're spending to get through our guard, so it's a bit of a win for us. Iron is also a pretty solid play here. We get a 50-50 on getting back mutation, which could give something guard, which is not too shabby.
May the ancestors bless.
We'll take our 50-50 here. We do get the mutation. We're gonna spend it here. Got regenerate. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. We were hoping for drain. That's why we spent it here, because this already had a keyword, so it was gonna lower those chances. Let's just go ahead and
Don't underestimate me.
run this over.
Your blood will spill.
And again, so just trying to
Out of my
pivot,
sight.
kind of even up the health totals, but we've been playing for the board, so we've got a better board. We have to just hope that over the next couple turns they don't
Face
have
me,
enough
you
to
dog.
finish us off too outright, since we whiffed a bit on our drains. As long as they're using these crushing blows defensively, I think that's a bit of a win for us. Harpy's a great pickup on our end, because again, it allows us to kind of slow things down a bit. But we can also just use things like Cunning Ally as well. Yeah, I think that's going to end up being our best shot. We've got 11-13 damage. It's not quite enough for lethal, sadly. So here's what we're going to end up doing. We're going to make these trades here, just because we want to keep our health
Face
total
me, you dog. Out of
in
my
a
sight.
reasonable spot. We're going to take the old Cunning Ally and the Dragon Knight, and then we're going to use our Firebolt here, because then this will grow. So they have no board. We're at 14 health, and hopefully this will be
They cannot hope
enough.
to outwit me.
Okay. So we should be fine here. Should be fine. What's the best way to try to skip runes? I think it's
I
just
will have
actually
your
attacking
head.
here so that either of the 5s are left,
Out of my
because
sight.
then this gets
I
it to
have you
7,
now.
and then our tome gets the job done. So there you have it. That has the potential to be a rough matchup, especially when you're not rolling drain, but if you play for the board and then kind of pivot, you can pull it off like we saw. You need your opponent to not like snowball and run into too much of their reach. And forcing them to have to use the crushing blows defensively was a bit of a boon. But we're going to jump into game 2. See if we can recreate those results. We like wins. I mean, who doesn't like wins? But we like wins. And now we're up against Tribunal. So this could be a pretty bad matchup for us, just because of the hard removal and its ability to kind of like negate the effectiveness of our wards. And we don't want any of these in our opener. We want 1-drops, but even more so, we don't want... Hey, we found a 1-drop. I was gonna say we don't want Harpies. That is not okay. That is not the start
This
you're
might
looking
be
for.
handy.
But yes, this very well could be a bit of a rough one. Well, joke's on them. We didn't have another 2-drop anyway, so we will just play our dagger and take the trade and pretend like we're sad, but the reality is we weren't doing anything else, so... And now they're gonna take a moment and go, what do I do now? Nothing, because I'm Tribunal. And if my opponent doesn't have a threat, then I have nothing to do, because my entire deck, my entire focus is based around just waiting for them to do something so that I can stop it. And then they do something, and then I stop it. And then they do something, and then I stop it. And that's it. That's the entire cycle. That's all of it. See, I did something, and now they're going to stop it. Which makes this Baron very, very depressing. Tempo Baron it
The best
is.
protection money can buy.
We could have theoretically tried to protect last turn with the ward, but then we run into the potential of getting blown out. Well, this is actually rather nice.
Time to die.
So I was about to say, you run into the potential of getting blown out by like Edict, right? Then you're just giving away the 2-for-1, so you want to wait. Oh, hey look, they had answers. Like we did something and then they stopped it, and we did something and then they stopped it. Again, it's Tribunal. It's all they do.
Khajiit will keep you safe.
Tribunal is my least favorite archetype to play against. And it's for exactly this reason, for the record. It's nothing about power level or anything like that. It's literally just that I think that the play pattern is boring. It just kind of comes down to, did they have the answer? No, then you win. If they have answers 1-for-1 for everything, then they win, right? So really want to play this Mighty Conjuring, but then we fall forever behind. But I think it's probably correct. And we have to do it over here because we don't want to get blown out by Dawn's Wrath. So what we do here is we do that. We protect with the ward, and then we Mighty Conjuring. Protecting with the ward means that when this inevitably gets hit with the 1-for-1. Oh look, they had another negation. All right, fair. That works too.
The elements are mine to control.
Gonna go like this, I guess.
Everything was taken from me. Today, I repay
Just so that we
in
can
kind.
try to 1-for-1 there. But this is, if we're being honest here, this is likely a loss. We are now on like turn 9, and our opponent is still at 30 with all of their runes. Against Tribunal, like this is a loss. And if I was not recording for YouTube right now, I'll be honest, I would likely have just conceded this match.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
Because there is
Out of my
no
sight.
hope. Yeah, we gotta do it for tempo. There's just no hope to pull this one through. Hey, we high roll and at least get the 7-5 though. But they're gonna get value trades there on the right. They're gonna get the tome, so they get to draw.
Out upon
I actually don't even think that was necessary.
On your guard, Mongrel Pup.
I'd have much rather, if I was them, just played the tome there. But
I'm ready for
we don't want to give them the easy pop on the ward. But again, like they've won as Tribunal, right? Like I said, the entire play pattern against Control Tribunal is it's draw dependent, right? If they draw the right answers at the right time, you just cannot beat Control Tribunal. If they don't draw it, then you win. And so it just, in my opinion, it never feels skillful in either direction.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
Alright, well, we'll do our best here to try to protect our 7-5, but it's not working in our favor. Because it's Tribunal, right? And they'll have answers. They still have all their javelins, all their edicts. They now also have a massive dude. We can hope for lethal. That is not lethal.
I'm ready for you.
That was not lethal.
Behold, my magnificent monster.
But we tried.
Rise.
Oh, and they have the Necro off the top for yet another Harpy. At least they gave me a rune, though.
Spirit of the sky, guide us.
Yeah, they're just gonna... They're gonna wisely pivot. Oh, no, I feel like that's a bit of a misplay on their part.
La da da dee da. No, that's not right.
Sure. I mean, this is over. It was definitely over if they attacked last turn, right? Because, yeah, you give me one more card, but I'm down to 16. I have no way to deal with this board as a mid-range player.
Out upon it.
But I guess doing it this way works as well. Theoretically, if I would have hit a prophecy there, I might have been able to stop them, but anyway. 1-1. Feels bad, but Tribunal's traditionally a bad matchup against mid-range because of the 1-for-1 removal, and we saw that in action there, so it is what it is. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Until next time, may you walk on warm sands.